With the Hasbro Pulse FanFest 2021 coming to a close, I wanted to share my thoughts on what I thought of the latest reveals of Transformers during FanFest. Lots of things to digest and to talk about. Let's get it on. First up, we have promo images of the leader class Kingdom Galvatron looking absolutely fantastic. If you saw my previous video, I was totally impressed with the way this figure looks. Cannot wait. So excited to have this figure. I have some issues with it, but staying optimistic, I think it's going to be a great figure. Next up is the Arc, still looking great. Some reason I'm gravitating towards this figure despite, not really reading up on the comic book. Somebody told me that the head sculpt was based off of the last Autobot. Thanks to everybody who's mentioned that in my previous video. A transforming Arc, not really my priority, but if the price is right of this figure out here in Manila, I might just go ahead and pick this one up. I mean, who wouldn't want an Arc in their collection? I just kind of wish they could have made this into a huge playset, going the way of G.I. Joes and all that, instead of a transforming robot, but we'll see. Next up is more images of the Commander class. Yes, it's been confirmed, the Commander class Rodimus Prime. Look at that, the matrix of leadership. He's got a ton of accessories, including that sword. I was very surprised with that, looking great. The alt mode looks fantastic, definitely a G1 alt mode. And you even have that smoke effect for the car mode. And it looks as though the trailer can in fact fit a huge vehicle, because the robot is looking to be like a huge Voyager class or leader class figure, transform into like a mid-sized large vehicle. I'm sure it can fit a slew of other Autobots in his trailer. At least the deluxe class sized cars. Not sure if it will fit Grapple or Inferno, but at least the medium-sized cars, we're gonna have them fit in that trailer. That's amazing. And you see him in his battle station mode, so much like the G1. I think better executed this time around than Ultra Magnus. Looking great. Ultra Magnus and the Earthrise Optimus Prime trailers were not at par with what collectors wanted, but this one, I think this one is probably the best trailer we've gotten out of the three. Okay, next up are a bunch of new repaints. We have Tricranius. You've seen my reviews on the channel. I've said it a lot of times, I'm not into the Dino Bones. No, I don't think I'll even get these guys on clearance. They just don't appeal that much to me. Yeah, I mean, the first version of this mold, I'm not getting Paleotrex, not on my list. So this is probably a pass for me. Next up is Wingfinger. Enough said, it is a pass. Seriously, I mean, if you're into Dino Bones, you love archaeology, you love paleontology, you love dinosaurs, and you love them as Transformers, sure, I think these are great toys, but I'm sorry, I just don't see myself getting these. I don't think I'll be reviewing them. Like I said, look at this. Draconis, whatever his name is. No. I mean, the first version looked a lot better than this one, but nope. Okay, one of the reveals for the Arc is we're going to get that golden disc. So that's interesting. I'm very excited for that one, actually. Core Class Soundwave. Wow. Okay, this is probably the most, if not most anticipated. I think I'm most excited for this figure out of all the Core Class figures. A little bit biased because I love Soundwave, my favorite Decepticon. Rat Trap was the only legit Core Class for me because it was perfectly scaled with the other Beast Wars Kingdom figures. But to get the other G1 figures in Core Class, I wasn't too convinced. The Optimus Prime was okay. I haven't gotten Megatron and Starscream. I'm supposed to get them later on this month. But this Soundwave is a definite must-have for me. Look at that. Opening chest with a laser beak or buzzsaw accessory. And he turns into a cassette tape recorder. Not a tank, not a car, not an SUV or anything like that, but a legit G1 cassette tape recorder. I mean, this line would have been great. This subline of core class figures would have been great if had they turned Megatron into a Nerf gun of sorts. That would have been amazing. But we get what we get. And Soundwave, some bits and pieces sticking out right there. It could just be mistransformed. I don't know. I'm hoping it is. I'm hoping those toes do fold down somehow. It looks like that's the way it is. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want this? Any G1 fan would love this. So yeah, definitely on my radar. Want to get this thing. And then we have the repainted Blur. I mentioned this in my previous video. We're going to get a repaint of the Blur we got from 86. Considering the fact that I wasn't too impressed, or I wasn't too pleased with that figure. It was a great figure for a lot of collectors, but for me, I had my issues with it. Somehow, for some strange reason, I'm gravitating and just attracted to this shattered glass Blur. I don't know why. It's going to have the same issues it had with the 86. I'm pretty sure of that, but the colors look amazing. Also, I already have shattered glass Optimus Prime. I got rid of Ratchet, so there's really no real reason to complete everything and get all of these shattered glass figures. I might decide if they do Megatron, I might get him. Maybe just the big four: Bumblebee, Megatron, Optimus Prime, and Starscream. Maybe Soundwave, the big five. But the other characters, I'm not too sure. Just something about this figure that just makes me feel like I have to get it. And I'm like, oh man. I know I'm going to regret it. I know I'm going to regret getting this figure. But it comes in this new stylized packaging. I guess they're doing all, or if not a lot, of the shattered glass figures. It's a nice way to milk their molds. Repainting figures, obviously. Hasbro's going to do it. But this new head sculpt, just, I don't know. Maybe I will, but not in my priority list, so don't expect a review of this figure. And finally, some bits of amazing news. These are more than great news. These are amazing news. 2 figures that were on my hit list that I was hoping Hasbro would do, and Hasbro delivered. First up is Trax. You all know my history with Trax, my very first Transformers figure ever, the G1 Trax. I have not let that one go. This figure looks amazing. There's got to be a lot of issues with this figure, definitely. But so far, it's doing its job as a G1 Trax, an updated modern G1 Trax. Look at this guy. I mean, I think only the gun is not toy accurate. It's show accurate, but I like it. The colors are great. The head sculpt is great. Even the aesthetic, the silhouette. Oh man, I have to get this figure. He just looks small though. I'm hoping he's at least as big as Sunstreaker, or maybe Trailbreaker. No, maybe Sunstreaker or Sideswipe. Man, look at that. Even the colors, the tempos, they got that G1 vibe down to a T. Alt mode looks terrific. I don't think it's like an 82 Corvette Stingray. It could be more of like an 83 or 85. I don't know. It's a little bit too squat, a little bit too short, but I don't care. That's the Trax, the G1 Trax we need, and do the whole gimmick back in the old G1. And yes, it obviously will have its flight mode. So kudos to Hasbro for doing this. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I'm sure that red tempo flame on the hood could use some work. I hope that's not the final. I hope we get a little bit more yellow for that, but that's an easy fix for repro labels or anything like that. And now the second bit of amazing news. Oh my goodness, I called it. You heard me say it. We are going to have a re-release of the 30th anniversary, the Thrilling 30 Rhinox. Oh my goodness. I got goosebumps when I saw this. This was amazing, and you can already see the prices of the Thrilling 30 and the Legends Rhinox on eBay just plummeting because of this reveal, because I called it. I knew it. It is in the best interest of Hasbro to re-release that mold and give it a better paint treatment that's a cross between the Hasbro and the Legends by Takara Tomy. This thing looks absolutely spot on, absolutely brilliant and amazing. I cannot wait for this figure. Oh my goodness. Rhinox is one of my favorite Beast Wars characters. Oh, I never had the G1 or the 90s figure. This is going to be amazing to have. And the colors look better. It gives it a lot more realism. And the green colors on the robot mode looks a lot better. They've even changed, I think, the head sculpt so that it'll have the opening mouth. And yeah, the articulated mandible, I think that's a plus. I think that's the first time we've seen that. I can't remember. I reviewed my Thrilling 30 Rhinox. I can't remember if it did that. But nevertheless, I'm just happy they're re-releasing it in a better version, because those previous figures were like the beta and the gamma versions. This is the alpha version, and oh my goodness. So excited for this one. And finally, a little bit of a mixed bag for me, my opinion on the latest reveal for Robosen's licensed computerized, automated, self-transforming Optimus Prime. A couple of years ago, we've seen viral videos of robot engineers. Like they made transforming Optimus Prime, transforming robots, and finally Hasbro decided to license them together. I think their partner is Robosen. The thing looks great. I'll give it that. I mean, who doesn't want a G1 automated transforming Optimus Prime? You can do it on your phone. You can program it. It's got lights, sounds, voice clips, and all that. It's got all the bells and whistles. This is a futuristic Optimus Prime toy. Now, having said that, I don't think this toy is for me. I'm guessing this is targeted. I think this is just my opinion. This toy is geared towards the younger generation, like my daughter Alex, who has robotics class in school. This is for the market for kids who are into robotics, programming, computer programming, robotics programming, that love to tinker with automated stuff, automated toys. For us OG collectors, God, you can probably compute how old I am. I mean, I'm pretty old. But I lived through the G1 Transformers, and for me, I think it kind of takes away all the magic that the Transformers toy brings to the table, because Transformers are like a puzzle. There's this satisfaction you get when you physically, manually figure out the transformation of a toy and transforming from one mode to the other. And that's the satisfaction you get. And you do it on your own. But if it's being done for you and you just push a button and it transforms on itself, I think it loses its magic. But like I said, I'm probably not the target audience for this. It's really geared to the robotics generation who love tinkering with these kinds of things. And I think that's all well and good. Transformers is for every generation. And I think this is a great step forward for Transformers. Just not... I don't think I'm part of that generation that loves these things. But if it goes down on clearance, I wish I might just go ahead and get it. Because right now it's going for $700. And here in Asia, it's going to be times 1.5 or times 2. Pre-orders from hobby shops have already begun at $980 to $1,000. That's US dollars. It's about the same price as how Unicron is selling out here. So... not about to spend that kind of money. There's a reason I quit the Masterpiece line and the movie Masterpiece line, because I just can't afford these things anymore. So if I'm going to get this one, it's got to be from a clearance sale or from a buddy who's letting go of his Transformers stuff cheap. So yeah. So there you have it, folks. Those are my thoughts from the latest Transformer reveals from Hasbro Pulse FanFest 2021. Let me know in the comment section what you think of these reveals and what your thoughts on them are. I mean, are they stuff that really blew your mind away? Are you excited for these upcoming Kingdom figures? I know I am. Let me know in the comment section, and as always, hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. If it's your first time here, please subscribe. If you want to help the channel out, please check out my Patreon account. There's a link in the description box below. Thanks for watching.